you fat fuck. I'm baby Oopsie Daisy. You lord ass. Will you be my special friend?
What the hell?
I can walk, I can talk, I can even shit my pants.
Huh?
Can you shit your pants?
You guessed it. Huge movie fanatic Nate coming right back at you in 2D to review Demonic Toys and the Demonic Toys Blu-ray. I'm holding in my hand the very first incarnation, home video incarnation of Demonic Toys, and the most recent home video incarnation of Demonic Toys, the VHS and the Blu-ray. So this will be a fantastic, famed movie slash Blu-ray review of Demonic Toys, the Full Moon movie from 1991, although the Blu-ray says 92, they don't even know when the hell their own movies came out. Don't mind me as I carefully set up the incarnations of the movies on the table. Getting into the review of Demonic Toys. Now, I was a fan of Full Moon ever since they existed. I saw the very first movie right when it came out, Puppet Master, and loved it because I still think Puppet Master is a phenomenal achievement for like an independent studio, and I love, you know, like the first 3 Puppet Masters. 4 and 5 are okay. I'm going to review all of them this summer, this spring or summer. All the Puppet Masters. Watch out for Nate's Puppet Master reviews. I'm going to review them all, man. But that's not coming. That's not happening today, but it's happening sometime. So, I mean, I love early Full Moon. I love it. Now it's schlocky crap, but I'm a big fan of independent stuff when it's good, you know. And this stuff, is it good? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I was at such a perfect age when this stuff was coming out. I mean, I was 13 when Puppet Master came out. I was 14 when Demonic Toys came out. You know, I was exactly perfect age for the beginning of the heyday, the glory years of Full Moon, which is pretty much 90 through 94, 95, something like that, which is the glory, you know, the glory years of Full Moon. And this is a movie that I was really not interested in when it came out, but a friend of mine had cable, and he had taped Crash and Burn and Demonic Toys off of cable in 91, I believe, and I was able to see the majority of both of them. I think I ended up buying Crash and Burn fairly recently after, but I don't think I bought, this is a previously viewed VHS, I don't think I bought this until maybe 92 or something like that. I don't know, because I think 93, I can't remember if 93 was when Dollman vs. Demonic Toys came out, but so I think I saw some glimpses, parts of Demonic Toys in 91 from my friend's VHS tape taped off cable. And obviously liking Puppet Master, I was like, I was kind of, even at that age, I was kind of like, oh, give me a break. You know, they're trying to, you know, capitalize on their own, I don't know. It seemed like the same studio doing like a different toys, you know. Possessed Toys movie was kind of lame, but, you know, in retrospect, these toys are pretty classic now, like Baby Oopsie Daisy and Jack in the Box, and I can't remember what the hell the teddy bear is called, just Teddy Bear. And I don't think the robot is called, the robot gunner tank is called anything, you know, maybe Gunnar Hansen. So on to Demonic Toys. In retrospect, I think it's a pretty, one of the best Full Moon movies, one of the better Full Moon movies. And having just recently got the Blu-ray over the last, I don't know, month or, you know, 6 weeks over the last period of time, you know, I rewatched it obviously, and I'm like, you know, it's actually written by the guy who would end up, it says on the cover, go on to write Batman Begins and Man of Steel. I don't know if he wrote them separately or it was just part writer on them or whatever. David S. Goyer, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name, but I was watching the Blu-ray and I'm like, you know, this is probably one of the better better stories of a Full Moon movie, where it's really kind of cool, where, you know, this cop starts out and it's a really cheesy ass scene. First of all, I don't know, I don't think this guy from Puppet Master 2, who was at the beginning of the movie, was really in Tracy Scoggins' what's that called? What's that term? Not in her league. He just seems kind of just like an average Joe, and she's like supermodel, you know. So I thought that was, ever since I saw it, I thought that was kind of goofy. It was a stupid scene of these super close-ups in the beginning. It's just like, you ever think about having kids? It's just like, I don't know, maybe someday. And it's just like, you don't get what I'm saying. Sometimes you don't catch on to things. And it's like, I want to tell her, well, sometimes you don't just say things out straight. That reminds me of that stupid part in Friday the 13th Part 3 I was watching with a friend of mine once. And that stupid part where after the prank with Shelley, they're walking out into the field or whatever, and she's just like, how are things with Rick going? And she's like, okay, he just doesn't understand. And my friend goes, it's because you don't tell him. It's all pissed off because, you know, this is kind of how, you know, women are, and it's just like, they don't understand, like the men don't get it. Or they're not taking the hint, and it's just like, if you tell us, or just, you know, instead of hoping we'll get your subtle hint, you know, it's just like, I think that's so funny. And that's just my little commentary on how some women can be. I won't say all women, because that would not be fair. But I guess I kind of sidetracked there for a minute, but that's funny about the beginning. And the beginning's kind of hokey, where it's like, and then we find out she's pregnant, and he's like, I'm going to be a dad, and then like 3 minutes later he's dead. And that was kind of, actually, to be honest, a sad way to start the movie. And these two bad guys who come to sell them guns, these are Tracy Scoggins and, you know, no-name Joe Schmo from Puppet Master 2 are two undercover cops who are going to arrest these criminals, these crime people, these gun pushers, smugglers, whatever. I'm not a crime enthusiast. I don't know what the hell you call them. They're bad guys. These gun sellers, you know. And the one guy's so funny. He's like, bang bang, Jojo.
Bang bang, Jono.
Hey! No clip, man.
He's like, hey, no clip, man. And the thing that's really funny is, who's the femme? You want to do some business or not? Or whatever she says, fuck you. And he's like,
Who's the femme?
It's my investor.
I'll take a bite.
Fuck you. Meow.
That part's funny. That guy's funny, and it sucks that he dies right away. I would have liked to have seen him continue on in the movie. But what I was getting at is the overall premise is fairly competent, and very well might be one of the most competent premises for a full moon movie, where you have this pregnant woman who happens on this demonic toy. This demonic. Now, is this warehouse built? It was probably built over that spot where the devil child was thrown, and I love that sound when it lands on the ground. It's like, this woman they're going to try to bring the devil into this world. There's this flashback where they try to bring the devil into this world, like, you know, a la Rosemary's Baby. And the thing comes out, and it's like, oh, I can't remember why it, you know, oh, it's dead or whatever. So it's Halloween, right? 19 whatever, I don't know, the 1930s, the devil is born and it's dead. Physical devil. And so these trick-or-treaters come up to the goddamn door, and it's like, trick-or-treat, and it's like, oh, we got something good for you. And they put this wrap, you know, this devil, Satan baby, dead in swaddling clothes, into their, you got something very special for you, into their bag or whatever, and they go run away and go to this one place, and they look at it, and these kids open up this thing, and it's this devil corpse baby with the horns, and they're like, ah! These horrible, like, kid actors just throw it over their shoulder with no real, you know, terror in there, and when it lands, it's like, it's so funny. So that, you know, later on, the demon spirit tells this backstory, and it's just extremely competently, like, written, I guess, you know, and I guess that's David S. Goyer's, to his credit, you know, and not so wonderfully executed by, you know, Full Moon Productions. But you know, it's really kind of cool with this thing where it begins with the, you know, these Tracy Scoggins looking pretty damn great, like her face in this opening scene, which you don't know what it's a dream, and it's like you got these two kids, one is like devil kid and one's like angel kid, and they're doing this cool thing. It's like war, you know. I can't remember if they're doing cards or what they're doing with, well, how they say, you know, whatever, but you know, that's kind of cool, and the whole thing turns out, and you know, so it's a pretty cool premise. And I love the guy who this punk asshole guy, you know, metalhead guy at the beginning, who's actually Robert Mitchum's grandson. This guy who would also end up being right around the same time, maybe before this, I can't remember, in Slumber Party Massacre 3. And I like this guy in both movies. I'm pretty sure it's the guy from Slumber Party Massacre 3. If it isn't, I'm going to feel embarrassed, but I think it is. And I like this guy, you know, Robert Mitchum's grandson, who didn't quite have the success of Robert Mitchum. But, you know, I thought he was fun. There's some hilarious scenes in this movie where it's like, I'm just, the guy, Robert Mitchum's grandson's like, I can't take this anymore, I'm just going to I feel like I just want to kill myself. And the spirit's like, why don't you?
Maybe I should just save him the trouble and kill myself.
Why don't you?
Shut the fuck up! I wasn't talking to you, motherfucker!
It's like, shut the fuck up, I wasn't talking to you. It's like super funny. There's some super funny bits in this movie. And it's like, this guy works at this, I can't remember what the hell the name of the chicken place is, and he has this chicken mobile. You gotta give it, okay, I'm gonna leave the Blu-ray down. Fuck it, you gotta give Full Moon credit for you know, going through the trouble to build that chicken mobile. And it's just like, just some really great lines. He's like, is that a cigarette in your mouth? And he's like,
No, it's your dick.
so some of these lines that this guy gets are great. Another thing that's really dumb is this girl, this runaway that ends up coming into the picture just for a minute, just to give some backstory. And she's like,
What do you want?
It's the toys. They're alive.
Toys? Toys? Did you see what they did to Charnetsky? Jesus Christ, they tore him apart!
Quiet.
We gotta get out of here! This is fucked! We gotta get out! Shut up! Oh.
but she ends up just dying. Oh, one thing I want to mention before I forget is Robert Mitchum's grandson's this funny bit where I'm gonna put the clip over it as I describe it or whatever. So baby Oopsie Daisy, you know, chases him through the air ducts, and they get out into the office of this guy who actually was the guy from the beginning of Terminator 2. So he, you know, that was this fat guy who's like Arnold takes the gun from in the beginning of Terminator 2, and the glasses actually is in Demonic Toys as a security guard. So they go to the office, and baby Oopsie Daisy and Laser Tank, you know, Gunnar Hansen is sitting on the duct shooting at him, and this Robert Mitchum's grandson gets this, you know, whatever it is, spray something in a lighter, and he's like, he's got this face that's like, baby Oopsie Daisy like, oh, I'm getting hot, or whatever. Oh, you're getting me all hot. It's just funny and stupid at the same time. You cut back to Robert Mitchum's I was gonna say Robert Mitchum's face, Robert Mitchum's grandson's face, and he's like, you can see it partly through the flame and partly not. He's like, this real badass face, and it's so freaking hilarious. And I love how, like, baby Oopsie Daisy, I think more than once, if he'll see, like, he stabbed that security guard in the crotch, and he's like, oops. There's some generally funny humor in this for my money. It's I gotta wipe the tears away from my eyes. It's
Good God damn, I hate him. Son of a bitches.
I'd give Demonic Toys 2.5 stars. It's and I guess that's not an amazing rating, but let's face it, it's got a lot of the not so great Full Moon Just you know, it's just, you know, looking around, just, you know, time filler bullcrap. There's a lot of that in this. Richard Band, of course, does the music, which is kind of cool, and it was just, you know, watching this movie just brought me back to the early 90s, being a teenager, Full Moon, and it's very competent movie, and I'm very proud of, you know, Charles Band. He did a lot of great, you know, these movies I would regard as being, you know, for genre fans, very important from the early 90s. Yeah, I mean, definitely not what they're doing now by any means. I mean, what they're doing now is not even really even worth mentioning, so I won't. But that brings me to the review of the Demonic Toys Blu-ray. Now, I was able to get this from Amazon for like $13 or something like that. It was $14 or something, then it went down like a couple days after I ordered it, so I was able to get the difference, the dollar something back or whatever. You know, you know, every penny counts. So I was able to get this for $13 or $14, and I got it. You know, and overall it was pretty good. The DVD that they put out back whenever they did, excuse me, I don't believe was stereo, which was kind of disappointing. And of course you'd figure the Blu-ray would be stereo, and it says stereo, but I don't think the Blu-ray's stereo either. So probably the only way you're ever going to hear this in stereo is if you, I don't know if the movie's in stereo on VHS, but if it is, the only way you're going to hear it in stereo is VHS or DVD or Laserdisc. So it'd be kind of nice to have it in stereo, because they did some pretty decent stereo tracks, but instead of just holding the damn thing the whole time, maybe you'll put it down. But now I have the Dollman Blu-ray that came out before, you know, months before this, and that was the first Full Moon Blu-ray where I noticed this anomaly, which was kind of disappointing, which was, all I can call it, which is something I've never seen on any other home video, not that I can remember any other home video transfer ever, which was this really weird, and all I can describe it as is, you know, like a funhouse mirror. You know, when there's a mirror that goes like, you look in it and the mirror is like, maybe the mirror is moving or something, and it makes you look all. Anyway, the image sometimes, not all the times, but on a static shot you'll be able to notice where the image is actually, and I can't rip DVDs, otherwise I'd show you, but you don't want to see it, trust me. But you know, on static shots you can notice it where the image is almost like just expand, you know, subtly expanding, and it's weird, the weirdest thing ever. But overall, I mean, the elements are great, and the sharpness is great, and you can see grain, and you know, that isn't a constant problem, that funhouse mirror thing. It's not a constant problem, but it pops up every now and then, and this and that and this and that. But I would recommend, if you're a fan of Demonic Toys, getting the Blu-ray. I mean, you know, I guess you're sacrificing, you know, the goofy morphing image for, you know, you're sacrificing that, but you're getting really sharp, crisp, you know, Demonic Toys images. So I'm trying to, before I end, I just don't want to forget anything. Oh, I guess what I was gonna say is,
Oopsie daisy.
okay, fuck you then. Well, I won't put them up. I guess they want to rest. So, you know, it's an old movie after all, so it's tired. So, before I forget, what ends up happening is this angel boy comes to life in a like a wooden soldier, which is, you know, fantastically animated by, I imagine, the late great Dave Allen. I imagine. I mean, I can only assume. Which is really, again, going back to David S. Goyer's, you know, pretty competent, you know, story. Really kind of cool to have, you know, you have this the devil in the toys or whatever, so then you have this angel boy, and which is actually going to be Judith Gray, I think is the name of Tracy Scoggins' character, you know, son, and it's like he's really cool. He pops up, and it's this wooden toy soldier who's like the angel, the good toy who cuts the ropes and, you know, lets her free, and extremely competent, like no you know, low budget schlock movie. So if you haven't seen it, yeah, you can probably watch the whole movie on YouTube. So if you haven't seen Demonic Toys, go check it out and report back and let me know what you think. But, you know, I would mostly recommend the Blu-ray. Unfortunately, it's not a perfect Blu-ray, but it'll have to do. I mean, Charles Band is doing, I guess I can't speak for him, but, you know, I want to say he's doing the best he can trying to put all these, you know, it must be such a pain in the ass to have to put out, you know, do these Blu-rays. It must cost, it must be a real bummer. So give him some credit. I mean, you know, I'd rather have a shitty Blu-ray of Demonic Toys than no Blu-ray, I guess. So here's hoping for one of my all-time, you know, biggest full moon movies that's not on Blu-ray that I want, is Crash and Burn. I'm much more than Robot Wars. I watched that a lot last year, the DVD, and I actually kind of got into Crash and Burn, which maybe I'll review someday, not today. But thank you very much for watching. That was my Demonic Toys movie and Blu-ray review. So I was trying to think of some phrase. I don't know. I can't. This review's already way too long, so I just can't think of it. How about this? Ah! That's Jack in the Box. How's that for a phrase? Thanks for watching. Kind of brings a tear to your eye, don't it?
Demonic Toys. Playtime has begun.